All right, thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you so much for your patience as we figured out our live streaming here.
Yes.
I'm Diane Herzog. I'm a registered dietitian.
And I'm Executive Chef Tim Norris from MedStar Hospitals.
Okay, so as Chef is going to show us how to prepare a dish that fits with the National Nutrition Month theme, personalize your plate. So tell us about it, Chef.
Well, I'm going to make for you a tabbouleh dish, but we're going to amp it up a little bit by adding artichoke to it, and then show you an additional way how to use the tabbouleh. Now, tabbouleh basically starts with bulgur wheat. For those who don't know what bulgur wheat is a cracked wheat that has been parboiled, then dried, unlike cracked wheat, which is just a groats. That's literally whole and broken down. Think of oatmeal. Pretty simple dish that all the ingredients you can purchase at any grocery store and you can make at home. And to get started with the bulgur wheat, I have a bowl here. It's a pretty simple dish. We start with bulgur wheat, hot water. As Diane pours the bulgur wheat into it, bulgur wheat is a product unlike couscous, as it stands for at least 20 to 30 minutes, wrapped in plastic, placed in an area so it can absorb all the water. Now for this dish, you can use just hot water or you can use a vegetable base. Diane, if you would sit that there.
I'll put that there.
Now, pretty sorry information to get started. Most of the bulgur wheat, when you add to a bowl, will sort of swell, so be mindful of the ingredients. The trick to this is to make sure that you use juicy lemons. And keeping with safety, to get started every time to use, you want to make sure that you have on a cut glove and make sure that you're using the proper safety. Now, for every vegetable, you want to use a green cutting board. For fish, chicken, or use yellow, green, or white. Then we take that. Let me have the gloves on the bottom there.
Okay.
Thank you. Take one.
Sure.
All right. Now, to make this dish pop a little bit quicker, we're adding, again, as I say, the artichoke hearts. The artichoke hearts, take the chicken to the left, it's going to add a little bit more fiber. The bulgur already has fiber. Adding artichokes already to this tabbouleh is fiber plus fiber. It's going to equal deliciousness. We'll take that. So we do a rough chop on the artichoke hearts. Add our artichoke hearts to the bowl. Look, we got a runaway there. And then we'll take some of that fresh mint. You grab some of that for me.
Sure.
Fresh mint and fresh parsley, the best way to go. A rule of thumb, if you're going to buy fresh mint and parsley, take it home and rinse it off. Put it between 2 paper towels and just pat dry. This will help get rid of some of the moisture, but keep your greens a little bit leafier and fresher longer. After you do this, take them and just put them in a crisper in your refrigerator. They'll last at least 4 to 7 days. So we'll take some of this fresh mint, do a rough chop on it, and some of the mint. I use stems and all. Most people have a tendency to throw this away, but if we do this, we're getting rid of all the nutrients and all of the fiber and nutrition that's in these leaves.
So in using this whole plant as well, we are working with sustainability to make sure you're not wasting any of the product, and we're using the whole food source as well.
Exactly.
So that's a great tip. Okay.
Now, we add 1 cup of onions. Tomatoes, Diane, if you will. Tomatoes, please. You can add that for me, Diane.
Sure.
And as I said, the best way to do this is to use good juicy lemons. For those of you who don't have juicy lemons, as soon as you get them from home, you roll them. Put them in the microwave for at least 20 to 30 seconds. It'll make all the juice come out of them. And if you ever have problems with your lemons and the seeds, hold your hand over the bowl so you can catch the seeds in your fingers while the juice oozes out, and you can just discard the seeds. That's where you'll have to pick them out at the end. Now, adding this, use 4 juicy lemons. The lemons are going to interact with the tannin and the acids from the artichoke helping to flavor this dish. The more juice you add, the more tabbouleh is going to absorb it. All that flavor is going to be locked in.
So what's really nice about this dish between the herbs and lemon is that it adds a lot of seasoning, and you don't have to add a lot of extra items like salt that are going to add additional sodium and make the dish less healthy.
Exactly.
So the flavors of these will sync together nicely and have you using more fresh ingredients and less things that are going to be harmful to your health.
You know, that's a good point she's making, because with the acidity from the lemons and the acidity from the artichoke hearts, you will need very little salt, if any. Now, for those of you who never bought artichoke hearts, purchase them in a jar in water, not in oil, because you'll have to drain them and then rinse them again. So just buy them in water. It's an easy fix, just one step. Now, after adding this, now we add the tabbouleh. And then we add white pepper and pinch of salt. All the ingredients are listed on the recipes, so easy to do at home and easy to duplicate.
And now, the recipe we will send out after the recording.
Definitely. We make all the ingredients in the bowl. After we mix them in the bowl, you let them refrigerate for at least 2 to 4 hours before serving, no longer than that, as the flavors will begin to turn. Now, after you let this marinate for quite some time, your finished product will look like this, nice and fluffy. As you can see, if we let the lemon juice, salt and pepper, all absorb the tabbouleh, the flavor is actually expanded and doubled almost in size. Take that for me, Diane.
Sure.
Now, going again, Diane's going to show you what that looks like, and you can pair this with anything. With endive hearts, as I have here, romaine hearts, tomatoes, carrots, and whole wheat pita chips. Adds a little bit of crunch. See, nutrition doesn't have to be flavorful. It can also be flavorful and healthy for you at the same time.
Okay.
I'm going to show you another variation on this tabbouleh dish. So you can take the tabbouleh, pack it as a lunch, use it in other areas. You can put it on the side and serve it with other vegetables. I'm going to show you how to add it to a stuffed chicken dish. So you can start with lunch and dinner. Oh, let me change this. So one thing, I forget about this, babe. Hope you noticed I had a green cutting board that was for vegetables. Change cutting boards to prevent cross-contamination. You always use green for vegetables. You use yellow for chicken, which I'm going to be showing you. So I've taken a chicken breast. Let me have the chicken breast. Taking the chicken breast, you can pound out the chicken breast to almost a 1/4 inch in diameter. After you take your chicken breast, lay it on the cutting board or on a nice surface that has been cleaned. You take some of your mixture that you've made from your tabbouleh. There you go. Let me have that tabbouleh. Good rule of thumb, if you've never stuffed before, a lot of people take all the ingredients and put right to the middle, and they figure out, how come all my ingredients are coming out? Well, for me, I like to take some and spread it out. Thank you, Diane. I like to spread it out, and then you roll from your short end towards you. Notice how I did that? None of them came out. Just for added security, I take a toothpick and skew it under the bottom so the ingredients won't come out.
Remember where you put that toothpick so you can take it back out before eating.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
All right, now we're cooking with fire. Same things can happen at home. But as we are cooking these dishes, I want to remind you some of the things that you're going to get in these dishes. 2 types of fiber. You have insoluble and soluble fibers. So not only you have the fiber from the tabbouleh and the fiber from the artichoke hearts, you have fiber plus fiber, that equals deliciousness. Now, when you add those things to it, a couple things to note. It's going to help lower cholesterol.
Yep.
It helps lower some cases of colon and breast cancer. It helps to slow satiation, and satiation is telling your body that I'm full. It allows you to take smaller bites, so it aids in digestion. So a lot of good things to hear. Also, as you get older, you need more fiber to help your body to break down lots of medicines, a lot of tannins that are in your system.
Absolutely.
This dish is pretty easy from start to finish. I like to take extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. and it goes pretty fast, so you want to keep your eye on this. I like to start right on the saute pan and then finish in the oven. So we take a stuffed chicken breast that I have, and when you hear that sizzle, that lets you know your flavor's already been locked. Now, changing gloves, so we want to prevent cross-contamination, as I said before.
So as Tim was saying, what's nice about this dish is that it's very full of fiber, so it keeps you full longer. And putting the grains inside of your chicken breast also pairs it with a protein, so it really is a complete meal that then you have for dinner and can pair it with some greens.
Definitely. The same lemon juice that we had before, some of the lemons that I had cut in half, you want to add a little bit more flavor to this. You can always add it right to the pan, but for safety reasons, whenever you're adding either wine or lemon juice, you want to pull away from the flame so it does not splatter, and you can add lemon juice to your pan. Return it back to your flame, and it's ready to go. All the flavors inside. I've added an additional piece of feta cheese to it. You can add any kind of cheese you want, or either sun-dried tomatoes. As you turn it, you notice how it's caramelizing and browning on the bottom. That's exactly what you want. This dish, stuffed chicken, especially now that you pound it to a 1/4 inch, will take from anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes to cook evenly through, with a thermometer inserted in the thickest point, measuring 165 degrees. We'll take this down, make sure that our flame is off, and this is the end result. You can serve this with grilled vegetables, sauteed vegetables, and here, as you see, I've added it with a side salad. Not only is it a good meal that you can replicate, you can cook with your kids at home, but a meal that'll fill you up and make you feel full all day long. For me and Diane, and for celebrating National Nutritional Month, happy eating.
Thank you for Thank you, everyone.